Greetings and welcome. This is Drumbowie heavy anti-aircraft artillery battery on the riding of the Clyde. As the what are they called?
The Kelpies.
The Kelpies. They're right there. Look, special. It's a World War II site that was headed up by General Sir Frederick Pyle of the British Army, and there was a time when there was only the heavy anti-aircraft guns such as the emplacements that I'm going to show you in this video. These were the only guns that were firing against the enemy, the Nazis. So we're going to check out this, what looks like a store or magazine building, and then we're going to go inside the command post and gun batteries and see what we can find. So light on, buckle up, let's go. So we've got a large steel door there and a small room. This looks like it was fitted out as accommodation actually, because it's got the wooden latting on the roof. Remains of a mattress there. Trends, BTERENDS bricks, and then shuttered concrete. So it looks like that used to be a doorway and it's been bricked up. So this was larger. So right, so that's this room. We've got walnut window there, but yeah, quite dark in here. We've got vents up there, which again, then that makes me think this was a magazine again. So this could have been a shell store or something along those lines, or an oil and grease store. There's a lot of shotgun cartridges on the floor. These are more recent though. These are not Second World War. But I can't see any sort of Second World War type stuff anywhere other than the door lock that's rotted away and fallen on the floor. It's the remains of the door lock. Looks like a machinery plinth. This is the other side of that building, and the other bricked up area. Making our way in. Got vents. This definitely looks like a pyro store or a magazine of some sort. There's the other side of the bricked up door. And then we've got the shuttering, and there's lots of fixings into the concrete, which makes me think this has had racking of some sort in it at some point in the past. There is a trough in the floor. And there's different pads. So it's either for racking or for machinery. I don't think it's a generator room because there isn't any exhaust holes anywhere. This reminds me of the pyro magazines that we saw quite a few years ago at RAF Recall. If I remember when editing, I'll put a link into that video. That is one of my earlier videos, but it's still worth a watch. Dave's in it, and we're going bigger versions of these at a former Royal Air Force air station. So this looks like the main gate to the battery. There would have been Nissan accommodation huts and other small wooden outbuildings that may not be here anymore, but that looks like the main fence post. And this is the main gateway to the anti-aircraft battery. This is a quadrant style battery, so there's 4 gun emplacements and then there will be a command post. It's quite likely these had the Vickers quick firing guns. I think they were a 4.7 inch gun from memory, and this is one of the first emplacements here. They usually break them up to get the gun out, and we can see the wooden rack in there for the shells. Just making my way through the nettles to get the shot. So they would have had the 4.7-inch shells on them, ready for firing. There's another shell area there. And the rest of the battery. The command post is likely to be in there. So what we've got here is possibly a little storeroom, and then we've got a ready use locker here for the shells, and then the gun, you can almost make out a circle in the grass there, and that was where the pintle for the gun would have been, in the centre line there. And then the grass line going across there goes into this, which would have been a small crew shelter. And there's more. See where the racking used to be for the shells there, and the notches in the concrete where it was precast. This would have been a little crew shelter. So this is the command post viewers. There's a large internal complex, and then there used to be the range and direction finders out here, which was sometimes operated by women of the anti-aircraft gun. Women's Auxiliary Army and Women's Auxiliary Air Force. The females of the fight against the Nazis was fought here. The women didn't fire the guns, but they did operate the telecommunications equipment and the range and direction finders, which would have been positioned possibly on that plinth that's in the centre of the screen now. So I'm now on the roof of the command building, and looking around we can see one gun position there. There was another one just over there, and then the third and fourth gun position. And then you can see the attention to detail. They've put guttering in the cast concrete and then tarred the top to keep it dry in here. It was quite important to do that because this is where all the paperwork was, and the officers and the range and direction finder equipment was all in this command post. So we're going to go inside the command post now and see what's left. This section of roof looks like it's been modified when a piece of equipment's been removed. So to get the bit of kit out, we've done something to that roof structure. That is a post for a guardrail to stop people falling in there. I think down there is a set of stairs to go back out. The water's a bit deeper, so I don't know how far that way I'm going to go. You can see the roof's actually starting to sag as the steel is exposed. As it rusts, it blows the concrete, and then the steel rots even more. A little creepy crawly on me. So moving further this way, we've got, I think this was the PBX room, the private broadcast exchange room. PBX was in here. There wasn't any accommodation in these command posts, but there would have been chairs and cups of tea. They usually had a stove in one corner. Oh, water coming out of that, so it's good, isn't it? I'll get to this next brick. Then this was a crew area and a runner's room, so they'd send runners to the guns sometimes. There's another creepy crawly on my leg then. Yeah, window there. Got vents built into the brickwork. And yeah, this was the runner's room, and then round there is another set of stairs to get out. It's already bubbling up where that creepy crawly's bit me. I think we need to get out of here. Yep, that is one British Army Heavy Anti-Aircraft Artillery runner's room in the command post. As we wrap up this short video, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel to see more content on lifestyle and explores, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you from me. Bye bye for now.